Welcome back everyone to the channel Ascend Above. My name is Austin, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the new moon in Taurus on May 7th. This may actually be the best new moon of 2024. The transits that we're having during this lunation cycle in a way are unbelievable. And this new moon will sextile Saturn to start. And at the same time, Mercury will be conjuncting Chiron, which is going to be important to note here as we do step into this lunation cycle. And not too long ago, on May 2nd, we just had Pluto come retrograde in Aquarius. Pluto coming retrograde in Aquarius is going to bring this deeper sense of urge. You may already be feeling it, but Pluto and the generational planets, they're felt more subtly. You don't notice the changes right away. But with Pluto being retrograde, there is this urge that it is bringing to reinvent ourselves. And with Mercury now in the mix here, conjuncting Chiron with this new moon, I call it the seeds inherited at birth of the new moon. Whatever aspects are going on is considered the seeds of inheritance. That will play a big effect into the whole lunation cycle. So we're going to be taking a look here at the new moon all the way up until the full moon. And then I'll make a part two whenever we get to the full moon. I'm going to talk about the full moon, and I'm also going to be talking about the waning cycle, but we're going to be talking about the waxing cycle, the build up here to this, from this new moon until this full moon that we're going to be having in Sagittarius. But back to Mercury being conjunct Chiron. Mercury's in Aries, Chiron's in Aries. Mercury's a planet that deals with the intellect. When it's in Aries, it does accelerate the mind. We're quick to make decisions. We're wanting to get straight to the point. We're self-determined more to make decisions. And we're relating to things on a more personal level, because Aries deals with the self. However, Chiron's here, and now Mercury has already conjuncted Chiron 2 times. And so this is the 3rd time, because we had a Mercury retrograde. Mercury came over Chiron the first time direct, retrograded back over it, and then now it's coming back on top of it. And so there are these things here that are going to feel quite familiar, because Mercury's already contacted Chiron. Chiron is a planet that deals with our deepest wounds. It also gives us the gift, though, once we assess those deeper wounds and we understand those and we heal those, it gives us the key. If you even look at the glyph of Chiron, it looks like a key. It acts as a key and a catalyst to major healing. And that healing and that gift can be transferred to others to help other people heal. So this is a time where, not only that, if you think about it, the solar eclipse that we had was with Chiron. This is where people can kind of step up, or we've been stepping up to take the lead in our lives, to define things for ourselves. And even though things are kind of wonky with Chiron, or we're not feeling as empowered, or maybe we're feeling a bit wounded, this is the time to lead by example, or it was the time to lead by example. But this eclipse is still playing out, right? It takes time for eclipse energy to play out. So Mercury conjuncting Chiron with this new moon, it's important not to relate to our wounds and get attached to them and then go into the victim mindset of things, because Mercury deals with mindset. And Chiron, like I said, deals with our deepest wounds. And with it being in Aries, we're all feeling a wound somewhere, or inadequacy somewhere, wherever Chiron is in your chart. A lack of self-determination, self-empowerment, courage, bravery, strength, definition of ourselves, understanding ourselves in a more defined way. And so the key here is we want to analyze what these things are when it comes to Chiron first, because we want to be objective with this new moon, because this new moon is going to sextile Saturn. Saturn's in Pisces. Pisces is a sign that deals with, fantasies, like we all know, or dreams, or, the things that we're envisioning, our idealistic energies. Also, Pisces is a sign, though, is like the deepening of awareness, and what Saturn here has been trying to teach us, because Saturn is the teacher, and a kind of a strict teacher at that. Saturn is a planet of limitation, restriction, obstacles. But those obstacles are there to help you develop. And so what we've been developing is a deeper sense of awareness, and a deeper sense of meaning, and a deeper sense of spiritual connection to things in our lives, and a deeper sense of a vision for ourselves when it comes to our own vision quest in life. And so with this sextile to Saturn, this new moon, it's giving us an opportunity here to ground our ideals, the things that we're envisioning for ourselves, the magical life that we want to create, the deeply spiritual and meaningful life that we want to create and feel connected to. We're getting this chance and this opportunity with the sextile here to be able to practically and methodically work and ground our ideals into this reality and to secure the gains and reap the hard work, or reap the rewards from the hard work, because Saturn does reward you when you do the work, and it's a good aspect. Obviously with the sextile, it gives us an opportunity to really methodically and practically create that prosperous, beautiful, dreamy life. Taurus, Pisces. However, back to Mercury conjuncting Chiron, we have to be objective and not let our victim mindset get in the way, to where we can attach to these wounds, or we can attach to these inadequacies or these insecurities in a way making it feel like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it, or I don't have the strength, or I don't have the self-determination, or I feel like giving up. This is not the time to give up. This is actually the time to go deeper within, to do the deeper work. Because when we go, this waxing cycle and this lead up to this full moon in Sag, we're going to get there, but it will be glorious. And we're going to go through the charts here in a moment, but I just really want to kind of go through and summarize really quick that this new moon is definitely a potent one. And if you take the chance and the opportunity that the divine is giving you, you will reap these rewards. So I'm actually going to pull up the chart here, the new moon chart. Here we go, right here. Let me actually minimize this really quick. Here we go. I'm going to pull this down here, put this kind of in the middle here. All right. So here we have it. May 7th, this is the new moon chart. And actually, bear with me for a sec. There we go. This is the new moon chart right here. So here we have it down here, this new moon in Taurus at 18 degrees, making that sextile to Saturn and Pisces. And then here we have it right here, Mercury and Chiron are conjunct at 21 degrees. And then, of course, like I said, Pluto being retrograde. So this is the new moon chart. We're just going to go to the next chart because I just talked about this. So we're going to go to the next chart here. And this will be, we're going to go through the transits, the major aspects and the major transits that are happening. So we're going to go to May 17th. Let's see here. I'm sorry, May 13th. We're going to May 13th. Don't mind me. So pretty much a week after here. So let's take a look at this. We're going to be having Mercury square Pluto. Now this day will be pretty critical because, as you can see here, Mercury's in Taurus. Let me find it actually. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, that's on the 17th. Bear with me for a moment, y'all. So Sun in Taurus. So before we even get to the Mercury square Pluto, that's going to be on the 17th. That is the only actual harsh transit, or you can say difficult transit, stressful transit, is the square that will be on the 17th with Mercury and Pluto. But this day on May 13th, you can see down here that the Sun is conjuncting Uranus. This is the time to unshackle yourself and liberate yourself here, and to go through that deeper sense of innovation or re-innovation and reinvent things in your life. Uranus is a planet, or Uranus, or Uranus, wherever you want to call it, has so many different names, is a planet that deals with unpredictability, sudden, unexpected things. But with the conjunction, this is a good energy. You can expect unexpected energies on this day. And really, I see this day as it's a day to where we can really liberate ourselves. We'll feel this sense of liberation to be able to unshackle ourselves from our past, or be able to unshackle ourselves from conventional ways or outdated things, or kind of breaking free from the traditional monotony of life here, and really go through this process of liberation and innovation here. So you can see this down here, this 23 degrees. And at the same time on this day, Venus will be in Taurus, sextiling Saturn and Pisces. I'm actually going to pull my computer a little bit over here. There we go. Venus down here, 17 degrees. It's going to be sextiling Saturn and Pisces while the sun is conjuncting Uranus. So not only are we unshackling ourselves this day, going through this invention period on this day and reinventing things, we're also given the chance and the opportunity here to practically, methodically ground our ideals into reality even more with this Venus sextile Saturn over here. So your values, your ideals, you can really start to solidify them and ground them and start to put the work behind what it is that you want to create. And with this transit, you can create unexpected, beautiful things, or unexpected, beautiful things can happen. Good day for planning, structuring things. And there's a twist here, but it's a good twist with that sun conjunct Uranus. So this is a good day, May 13th. Now let's go to May 17th, Mercury square Pluto. This is like I said, this is the only transit that is a square or difficult or stressful when it comes to the planets. And this is a day where tension is probably bound to arise. Mercury does deal with communication. It deals with the mind. It deals with our intellect. It deals with the way we relate to things, we process things, and how we store it, and how we store information, and how we understand it. However, with this square to Pluto, there's tension. And I think the main lesson here with this Mercury down here in Taurus, square Pluto in Aquarius, is we're gonna have to be open to other people's values and ideals. Otherwise, there's gonna be stress and there's gonna be conflict. And Mercury square Pluto, this is when you cuss somebody out, or you get mad, or maybe you make a rash decision, or maybe you say something that you later regret, or you do something that you later regret, or you make a decision that you maybe regret, or you may regret. It's a time to really analyze and see, okay, what in the situation do I not resonate with? Because if you don't resonate with something, or you don't connect to something, all you have to do is just disconnect. But you have to also ask yourself if pride is getting in the way, and maybe you're being closed off to other people's values and ideals. So it's kind of one of those things. This may be a day to where you're realizing, like, yeah, this isn't the right fit for me, or this doesn't make sense for me, so let me disconnect. But that's all you have to do is disconnect. You don't have to get mad or allow your temper to overflare or say things or do things that you're going to later regret. But you just want to be open-minded on this day. You know, what Pluto in Aquarius is trying to teach Mercury here is, Aquarius is eclectic. It's like being open to all different types of ideas and being open-minded. So the note here really is, you know, you want to be as open as you can to other people's values and ideals, or their ways of communicating, or even when it comes to communication, there could be strife or tension. And you don't want to let your temper you don't want to get angry, basically, and do something that you may regret. You may need to disconnect this day if that's what's required, but also this could be the day too to where maybe it's about connecting too on a deeper level by being open-minded. So you just have to weigh out what is going on in your situation and your circumstances. All right, let's go to, let me actually make this a little bit bigger, this pencil. There we go. Let's go to May 18th, the next day, as we're building up here to this full moon. And the full moon here that we're going to get to is wild. Absolutely wild. May 18th. We're going to have Venus conjunct Uranus, and we're going to have the Sun conjunct Jupiter. So we just had the Sun conjunct Uranus. Venus is now conjuncting Uranus on this day, on the 18th. And then the Sun is conjuncting Jupiter. Every time the Sun conjuncts Jupiter, it's the luckiest day of the year. Jupiter is a planet that deals with positivity, abundance, expansion, growth, optimism. With it being in Taurus, this is going to be around things that deal with prosperity, values, money, resources. And it doesn't just have to be things externally. It's also an inner feeling of prosperity, an inner feeling of personal expansion and growth and optimism. And this Venus conjunct Uranus, I mean, this is like, Jupiter is the planet that bestows gifts, especially when it's a day when the Sun is conjuncting it. And with Venus conjuncting Uranus right here, as you can see, with Venus conjuncting Uranus and the Sun conjuncting Jupiter, I don't know what to really say. You don't know what to really expect, but it's positive because Uranus is a planet of unpredictability, right? And when you want to look at this if you look at this on a humanistic level, like humanistic astrology, Uranus is the planet, it's actually the master of transformations. Uranus is that planet that it's that urge to go above and beyond what has been done before. That's why Uranus deals with invention and unconventional and unconvention. So, and untraditional things, or just taking a leap. You know, Uranus is like, take the leap. Go through the transformational process. Be the one to initiate the transformational process. It's going to initiate it anyways. But I feel like this is a day where it's an increase in prosperity when it comes to our values, when it comes to the things that we like, the things that we're trying to create. And that's just an overall energy of abundance here. And liberation, because Uranus is liberation. So who knows? This could be a day of unexpected windfalls of abundance, or unexpected things that may shock you, or may be different, or may come unexpectedly, but it's like, whoa, you see the blessing and you see the gift in it. So it kind of sounds too good to be true, but it's not. I mean, I think we all deserve this. I think the past transits and the lunation cycles that we went through, the solar eclipse, and then before that, the lunar eclipse, and the Mercury retrograde, and the solar eclipse of Chiron, like, it's been a lot that we've been dealing with. I feel this is our lucky break. Like, this is the divine giving us a break, and not only giving us a break, but gifting us things and helping us here in our lives. So let's go to the next day here. May 19th, we're going to have the Sun sextiling Neptune. You can see here the Sun at 29 degrees right here in Taurus, sextiling Neptune over here in Pisces. So anytime I look at the Sun making good aspects to Neptune, it really is a good day to deepen our spiritual connection. You may even feel a deeper sense of meaning and appreciation for things in your life. You may have a heightened sense of clairvoyancy. You may have a heightened sense of creativity, a heightened sense of imagination or fantasy. And at the same time too, on this day, Mars is going to be conjuncting the North Node. And the North Node, the nodes are destiny points. It's the polarity of change. The North Node is where we're trying to go. The South Node is what we're letting go. But with Mars being on this North Node here in Aries, this is a day where we can take action, and the actions that we take and the things that are going on are in alignment with where we're trying to go in regards to our own destiny. So Mars on the North Node is like, take action, be self-determined, define the things that you want for yourself, and be bold. Fortune favors the bold here, especially during these transits. So, all right, let's go here. And I also want to say too, with this Mars on the North Node here, that when you take action with Mars on the North Node, you're aligning more and more and more with advancing your future and then coming into alignment with destiny and with your own destiny, and advancing your destiny and your purpose and coming into alignment with your purpose. So the next day here, let me kind of scroll down a little bit. May 22nd, we're going to be having the Sun trine Pluto. And let's see here. Let's go to this. Pluto right here at 2 degrees of Aquarius. I'm not sure why this pencil keeps getting skinnier. Pluto down here in Aquarius at 2 degrees. We have the Sun that's now in Gemini. And obviously we'll come into Gemini season on the 20th. I believe it's the 20th. If I'm just doing the math off the top of my head, it's the 20th. But the Sun right here at 2 degrees of Gemini, boom, trining Pluto. Now, whenever you have the Sun trine Pluto, it's a natural day to where there's an effortless energy to do a deeper sense of transformation. Pluto is a planet of transformation. And with it being in Aquarius, I was reading about this, Pluto being in Aquarius, and one of the main things with Pluto in Aquarius is that we're all trying to reinvent ourselves. And at the same time, by reinventing ourselves, we're actually creating a ripple effect out into the collective that innovates and changes the collective. Innovates and changes the collective on a scale that we can't even yet imagine or perceive at this time. And with the sun now being in Gemini, Gemini is a planet that does deal with communication, obviously, but it's also like this inventive energy. Gemini is an inventive kind of sign, right? It deals with information, it deals with truth. And so we're like getting a deeper sense of awareness about our truth and what it is that we're wanting to do to make these deeper sense of transformations. And this is what's going to allow us here to let go of the old egoic structures that we've clung to that have been stopping us from being able to make those radical transformations, that have been stopping us from really living in our fullest potential. And so these transits from the new moon all the way up into the full moon, I mean, we're talking good benefic energy here and transformation and a deeper sense of spiritual connection and increases in prosperity, increases in our resources, our values, our self-worth, Taurus. And you can even say healing too, because you have to remember that Mercury is on Chiron. And so there is this deeper sense of healing too going on, especially because the previous day that I just talked about, the sun sextiling Neptune. Neptune can offer you a deeper sense of compassionate energy and allows you to be less selfless and allows you to be able to release and reorient your consciousness toward a newer, higher ideal. A higher ideal that allows you to understand your place here in the cosmic scheme of things. And Pluto really solidifies that. Pluto, when we talk about in humanistic astrology, is the individuation process, the completion of the individuation process, right? And so it's the initiation. Pluto offers initiation once you go through the individuation process. And once your consciousness has been reoriented to a higher ideal or a higher principle or to something of a higher meaning that allows you to transcend obstacles or let go of whatever needs to be let go of so you can spiritually evolve. That's what really allows you to be a full individual and function fully and correctly without there being any type of BS in the way. And that helps you understand yourself, your place in this cosmic scheme of things, and also your relationship to everything else external in the cosmic scheme of things. So here we go. This next transit, May 23rd, this is the full moon in Sag. And I want to back up really quick. That sun sextile Saturn, or the new moon sextile Saturn, I should say, giving us an opportunity to methodically and practically work and do our duty and put in the energy and the effort toward building our dream life and making it more prosperous and making it more magical and making it more deeply meaningful and spiritually connected. This is where you can actually reap the rewards. A full moon can bring a harvest. It's also a release too, but it does bring a harvest as well. It reflects to you fully consciously, right? The sun is your consciousness. The moon is the subconscious or unconscious. Every time there's a build up to a full moon, it's the new moon, you're unconscious. A lot of spontaneous, unconscious activity that's going on. But when you get to the full moon, you're able to see like, oh, now I have full conscious awareness of what I was unconscious to before. So what we're becoming aware of is if you, like I said, if you put it with that new moon, sextiling Saturn, put in the work, this is where you reap the rewards and the gains. You're able to see the hard works, the efforts from your hard work. And so, let's see here. This, so here it is, the full moon here at 2 degrees of Sag. Now, obviously, the sun's going to be opposite if it's a full moon, 2 degrees of Gemini. And the transits on this day, if we take a look here, let me scroll down really quick because I need to see here. Yeah, here we go. We have, with this full moon, Venus conjuncting Jupiter right here. Venus conjuncting Jupiter in Taurus. So We're talking two benefics together. Jupiter gifting us and Venus gifting us with a more prosperous energy. The reason why I keep saying prosperous is because Taurus represents enduring prosperity. And I learned this from actually Victor Carr. He's a great astrologer, and he breaks down like the planets and what they, or the signs I should say, and the planets, but the signs, like what they mean. Taurus is prosperity that endures. That's why it deals with value. Things that are valuable sustain themselves. And also Taurus on a humanistic level, it deals with our identification, our personal identification with substance. That's why it brings up self-worth or self-value, and cultivating and doing the work to build great, beautiful things that will endure and that will be prosperous. And so this Venus-Jupiter conjunction here, this is a gift here with this full moon of some form of increase of prosperity. And just an overall benefic, beautiful feeling. So, and also too, Venus is going to sextile Neptune. Let's see here. Venus will make it sextile to Neptune at the same time. Jupiter and Venus will make it sextile to Neptune. So we went from Saturn, Neptune during the new moon. All right, let's do the duty. This is our opportunity to ground to be practical and methodical and to do the work. And also to do the healing too with Mercury conjuncting Chiron, to let go of the victim mindset and let go of the insecurities or the inadequacies or the things that have been stopping us. We were given that opportunity, and this is the reward, right? This is Jupiter, Neptune, Venus, Neptune. This is going to bring, this is where the reality can be reflected to us in a way that we see the magic. We feel the magic. We feel the deep spiritual connection to the things that we've built and that we've created and that we're continuously creating. And so this will bring an energy of peace, positivity, and happiness. You'll be able to feel it more deeply here. So, and I love, Venus sextile Neptune. Anytime you have a Neptune contact, though, you can like maybe overdo it or maybe be too in fantasy land. But usually with the good aspects, it's like you can be aware of that more. But this is where the practical, methodical work now turns into the dreams that we've been envisioning. And not only that, it's like the more deeper reasoning behind things. The ability to feel deep meaning and connectiveness, especially on a spiritual and an emotional level, to the things that you have built and the things that you've created and the things that you have in your life and the things that the universe has also been giving you with this build up here to this full moon. So, and I'm going to talk about, since we just got to the full moon, I'm going to do another video with the waning cycle in regards to basically from the new moon, from the full moon down into the next new moon, and what that's going to represent and what that's going to bring and what that means. But let's see here. I mean, that's why I said this is probably one of the best new moons of 2024. I think it probably is going to be the best new moon of 2024. I haven't even looked at all the other new moons, but I'm like, how the fuck is anything going to top this new moon cycle or this new moon in Taurus? So, and also too, I want to say here as well, I totally forgot. Let me back up. That this new moon, this full moon, don't mind me. Full moon down here in Sag, just sextiling Pluto. Now, full moon in Sagittarius, right? We're letting go of old beliefs. And with this sextile to Pluto, we can really let those old beliefs go and let them go through their metaphorical death card energy in tarot and let them go. And there's a newer sense of meaning, there's a newer sense of understanding, and there's newer truth to be found in our lives. And there's newer forms of understanding things that will allow us here to become a more integrated individual and allow us to go through a deeper sense of transformation here. So this is the surrendering with this full moon of old beliefs. And you can also kind of say that as well, like we're letting go of maybe these old beliefs, especially with Mercury that's conjuncting Chiron with this new moon, like these beliefs that we're not good enough, or that we don't have it within inside ourselves, or, you know, these beliefs around anything about ourselves and the things that we've been internalizing about this Chiron energy, about, you know, where we don't feel like we're enough. I feel like this is like the release and the universe showing us, like, no, you're enough. And you have so much, and there's so much prosperity, and there's so much good in the world, and there's so much beauty here. So we're letting go of like these old beliefs, and we're now reinventing. And by letting that go, that allows us to be able to reinvent ourselves with a more defined truth and not a distorted belief. So that's what I want to say about the full moon. And I will do a full moon video too, but I'm just giving you the overview of this waxing cycle, the build up from the new moon to the full moon, and how the things are playing out. So I'm gonna leave this video here. I'm wishing everybody a great new moon in Taurus. If you have any feedback, you can just leave that down below in the comments. I want to say thank you all for being patient while I've been really focusing on the tarot channel more. If you don't know, I am a tarot reader as well. I have a tarot channel called Austin's Tarot, and yeah, but I do want to try to get back into the swing of things with this channel. So, and this is a good example for me to share with y'all that being an astrologer, right? Like, I've been a tarot reader. I want to reinvent myself. I want to also do astrology. And so this is the opportunity here to do it, to start really grounding what you're ideally wanting and what you're dreaming about and what you're envisioning, and the ways you want to reinvent yourself. It's about grounding it into reality by doing the practical, methodical work. And from that, the universe will help aid you. And with this, obviously with this lunation cycle, this waxing cycle up to the full moon, the universe is ready to gift you. So that's what I got. I appreciate you all. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do so. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button before you leave. And if you want to be notified when I do upload videos, be sure to hit the notification button bell as well. You'll be notified whenever the videos get put out. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, it's a tarot reading, I'll put that link down below in the description as well. You can also book a personal reading with me. Anyways, I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.